fans are expected to pack the Staples Center in Los Angeles today to say a final goodbye to NBA great Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna. They were among 9 people who died in a helicopter crash last month. Proceeds from tonight's memorial are going to a sports foundation which Kobe was a part of.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for waking up with us on this Monday morning. I'm Jordan Schreier here with Lisa Badeau, and we're just getting started with your news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. Some North Dakota school officials say they'll be dealing with a social media post today that got a lot of people talking over the weekend, and not in a good way. Now, here's a look at the so-called promposal out of Devil's Lake. It shows a high school couple with a poster that's partially decorated with cotton balls and making a reference to black people.
Some call the post a disgusting racial slur. The Devils Lake school superintendent says he will not be commenting on individual student discipline. A mix of winter weather is going to be part of the annual Freeze-a-thon up at NDSU this week. ATO Fraternity and Kappa Delta Sorority started the fundraiser outdoors at midnight this morning, and they'll be going through Friday. And the next 5 days could include some pretty cold temperatures.
You can find those NDSU students at the corner of 12th Avenue and University Drive in North Fargo. Money raised is going to the nonprofit Down Home, which helps furnish new apartments for people who are homeless. So for what those students can expect and what we can expect when you're heading out the door this morning, let's check in with Lisa Green.
Well, we do have some fog. There's some frost out there affecting us too, and even some snow for today. So it is kind of a mixed bag of weather as we're kicking off the week this week. We're looking at our Luther Family Ford Skycam here, and I've zoomed in a little bit on the parking lot because you can see there's some frost in the windshields of the vehicles there. So you're going to need some time to get that cleared away this morning, and then you'll need time to get to where you need to be today because of the fog. We're dealing with that in a lot of places. So we've got a yellow caution light here for your morning travel. It does get better into the afternoon unless you're in that one pocket in the southwestern part of our viewing area where we're getting snow at this point in time. We'll talk all about this here. We're looking at, first of all, a dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. in a small pocket where it's been more consistent, but we do have dense fog in other places too. Down to 0 for your visibility in Langdon. Fargo at the airport, a quarter mile. Other visibility reports coming in less than a mile in the region. So fog, and that could be leading to some frost on the roads and some slick spots with that too. And then to the south and west, you see the snow that's been developing west and south of Jamestown back over to Bismarck and into parts of South Dakota, and it's just clipping our southwestern viewing area. So Stutzman, Lemoore, Dickey counties under this snow. Question is how far east does this advance? Eventually, it won't be able to make it much farther eastward, but where it does end up falling, we could end up with a significant amount of snow in spots. It may just be west of the viewing area, but something to be aware of. Temperatures are in the single digits north, some teens and 20s even in the south where we have some clouds. It's currently 12 in Fargo. Light wind out there too. That won't be much of a factor for us today. Here's a look at our hour-by-hour planner. Again, today we've got that fog that's going to eventually lift by noon. We're looking at a lot of places that are sunny. Some clouds to the southwest, though, in southeastern North Dakota. Fargo will be right on the edge of that. And then, of course, that chance for some snow in the Jamestown area and then south and west from there. And you can see as we'll zip through time here to show you that this that much changes here. We're looking at that snow just kind of hanging around that region, and that can add up over time. So we're looking at the potential for some significant snow through tomorrow morning in some places, back over by Bismarck perhaps, and then a sharp cutoff somewhere around that Edgeley and Ellendale area. So just be ready for more significant snow there. The rest of us keeping quiet as far as that's concerned. We cool down midweek, highs only in the teens, and then by the end of the week, warming right back up. Now for a look at traffic, here's Devin Fry with the Valley Today's traffic on the news.
Thank you, Lisa, and good morning, Red River Valley. We are going to finish up this hour on I-94. We are heading west toward Bismarck. Now, I just got off of 25th Street to get onto the interstate, and that area had one of the more slick intersections that I saw. It was right off the exit toward eastbound I-94, the stoplight right before that. Very slick coming to that, and it was also a little bit more difficult to turn coming from that intersection as well. So that's going to be an area to watch out for. Basically, there's a few slick spots all around the FM area today, mainly on side roads that have been less traveled this morning. So give yourself a few extra minutes as you make your way out the door if you have to deal with those side roadways. Here on our major roadways, i.e. the interstates, things are moving a little bit more smoothly. Now, they're a little bit more crowded than what we saw at the end of last week, or at the middle of last week, especially around the Red River Bridge area here on I-94. But overall, as you can see, it's moving fairly fine. Up around by 45th Street here is another bit of a crowding area, so it's kind of hit or miss on the roadways this morning. We're going to keep checking out the roadways in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
And here's another spot to watch out for today. The street near 7th Avenue and 11th Street North in Fargo will either be slushy or icy, depending on when you drive through, because of a water main break.
Repairs are scheduled first thing this morning. City crews turned down the water pressure yesterday to keep homes from losing too much water. U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar says she wants to build on the Affordable Care Act, increase funding for education, and put emphasis on addiction and mental health care. She shared her message to a packed house at NDSU's Memorial Union yesterday as she continues in the race to be the Democratic presidential nominee.
It's a critical time for Klobuchar and the other Democratic candidates as we inch closer to Super Tuesday on March 3rd and the North Dakota caucus. Klobuchar finished 6th in the Nevada caucuses after a surprising 3rd place in New Hampshire about a week before. 3 people are dead in what police are calling an act of family violence. Apple Valley, Minnesota police say 2 men and 1 woman were found dead from an apparent gunshot wound Saturday. The deaths appear to be 2 murders and a suicide.
An autopsy is scheduled today for a man who was killed in a natural gas explosion at a Brookings, South Dakota apartment building. Fire officials say the back half of the complex was engulfed in flames when they got there Thursday morning. The victim was found dead on the 1st floor after that fire was under control. A North Dakota man is going to prison for 40 years for sexually abusing children under the age of 12. 38-year-old Shane Mason of Mandaree pleaded guilty last year to aggravated sexual abuse of a child.
The investigation began in 2017 when one of 3 victims told police that Mason had sexually assaulted her on the Spirit Lake Indian Reservation a decade earlier. Foster families are helping a North Dakota pet rescue that recently took in nearly 3 dozen dogs from a hoarding situation.
They were pulled from a home in Stark County by the Dickinson-based Raise the Woof group, which says the animals were completely unsocialized and many were malnourished. The dogs will now be in foster homes before being put up for adoption. People are showing their support for a Fargo teenager who's battling cancer.
16-year-old Landon Lizakowski is in the middle of 5 cycles of chemotherapy. Friends and family say Landon continues to smile through it all and is inspiring others.
Well, grab that bag of tortilla chips today because it is National Tortilla Chip Day.
And the Valley Today's Abby Furchner is celebrating, as she should, getting some great recipes on some delicious salsas to eat with that tortilla celebration. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Lisa and Jordan. I'm here with Maria Carpenter Rodriguez with Maria's Home Style Mexican Food. And I'm full, but I had a breakfast full of champions this morning because we have so many different ideas that you can celebrate National Tortilla Chip Day. And I want to start with this one because this is the most traditional, but it's so simple to make. I did not realize it.
Right, so you just have Roma tomatoes, a jalapeno, well, 3 Roma tomatoes, a jalapeno, a half an onion, and a little bit of garlic, and you just steam boil them until the skin of the tomato starts to peel away, and then you take them out, and you can either use a molcajete if you have one. If you don't, a blender is just perfectly fine.
I love that. I need to get one of these because I think that is so cool. It really does, I honestly think it makes it taste better.
Yeah, it does. It's seasoned up well. The more you use it, the more flavor is going to go into your salsas.
And then if you love spice like I do, this one is definitely for you.
Yes, and this one's made with yapons, which is a dried chili pepper, and tomatillos and onion as well.
Again, so simple. And I just absolutely love that. And then this was just done in a blender.
Yep, just done in the blender. The yapons were toasted, and then the tomatillos were lightly steamed.
Oh, and then queso dip. We all love queso dip. Come on. So again, super simple.
Super simple. You get sharp white cheddar cheese and some evaporated milk and a couple seasonings of your liking, and melt it away and get it all together.
And then top it with pico like we did. But I did ask you earlier, when you go to the store to get canned salsa or jarred salsa, what is your go-to?
Our go-to is al pato. It's a small jar, and there's 2 heat levels and the yellow and the green can.
Okay. I've been eating it all morning, and I'm like, I am never, ever, ever, ever eating a different salsa again because, oh gosh, you guys, it's so good. But these are just some simple ways you can celebrate National Tortilla Chip Day,
which has quickly become one of my favorite holidays.
Lisa's loving Monday now.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Abby. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. 1 in 7 women say they do this before company comes over to the house.
The answer is you got to put on a new roll of toilet paper. And remember, you can play along every day. Just go to our Facebook page. And today, it's kind of a foggy start for some, Lisa.
Yeah, and not only foggy, but a little bit frosty out there, too. You can see a pretty sunrise setting up for us here. But keep in mind, we're looking at some conditions that may not be perfect. Snow to the south and west, too.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on right now on the Fargo CW.